details.
Vice President Joseph Lagu and the interim chairperson of the reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, Major General George Agri Owina, have discussed challenges and progress in the implementation of the peace agreement. In a media statement, Major General Owina stated that he is preparing to brief regional leaders on the status of the peace agreement next week, emphasizing the importance of consulting with the country's vice president in understanding the obstacle and significant stripe in the peace process.
One of my responsibilities is as we monitor the peace agreement and make reports and make recommendations, we also do this and inform the regional leadership, who's the guarantors to the agreement, and therefore every quarterly we go and have a briefing with the leadership of the region to give them a clear picture of the process of implementation. So this quarter has reached, and from next week I'm going out to visit with the leadership of the region and to brief them on what has happened in the last quarter. So I'm seeing all the vice presidents, I've seen all the vice presidents, and get this message clearly from them on their views and any specific issues as they go to meet the leadership of the region.
Through Press Secretary Nazaro Marcello, Vice President Josephine reaffirmed the government commitment to fully implementing the revitalized peace agreement. She assured that all the chapters of the agreement will be carried out in both letter and spirit to ensure lasting peace and stability in the country.
The leadership of the RJOMEC, actually they briefed the Vice President about their quarterly report before sharing it with the leadership of the region. Vice President, Her Excellency Josephine Lagu, reassured that all the chapters of the peace agreement are implemented in letter and spirit. They also exchanged views on the outstanding issues in the revitalized peace agreement, especially the security arrangement, where the Vice President also assured the team that the government is committed to the implementation of the security arrangement, and saying that the security arrangement is one of the important pillars in the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. She said also that some of the challenges that is derailing the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement is the issues of economic hardship that the country is going through. But as soon as the country is recovering from the economic hardship and economic shocks, that the implementation of the peace agreement will move smoothly.
In other news, Vice President Joseph Lagu received the governor of Central Equatorial State, Rabbi Mujung Emmanuel, at her office in Juba. In a statement to SSBC, the Press Secretary Nazaro Marcello stated Vice President Josephine Lagu commended Governor Rabbi Mujung for his active and dedicated role in reorganizing state affairs since resuming duty recently. She praised his leadership and commitment to restoring stability and ensuring effective administration throughout the state.
The two officials also discussed a range of issues to do with service delivery cluster, a cluster that is led by Her Excellency Josephine Lagu. During the meeting, Her Excellency Josephine Lagu commended Governor Rabbi Emmanuel Mujung on his active role and leadership in reorganizing the affairs of the Central Equatorial State after assuming his duty recently.
Reporting for South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, Abyei Arob.
To Ruweng administrative area now, where security stability is back to normal rather, following deadly sporadic attacks by suspected armed youth from Mayom County in Unity State. Ruweng Chief Administrator Stefano Malik presented the detailed security and political reports to the Presidential Advisor on National Security Affairs, Madud Dudiel, with major emphasis on significant plans to boost security along the borders to prevent armed confrontation in the future. The Presidential Advisor Yell calls on the Chief Administrator to advance peaceful coexistence among the people of Abyei and their neighbors.
Had a brief meeting with the security advisor where I briefed him on the general situation in Ruweng administrative area in terms of security and other related activities. Generally speaking, currently the security situation is calm, and it's only that in the few 2 months there has been a number of related violence with cattle raids coming from Unity, with the armed youth mobilizing in large numbers. This has happened 3 times, but with the efforts of all the security forces and Ruweng administrative area, most of the cattle have been recovered from those raids. We are working with the government of Unity and also with the security forces to make sure that this situation is contained and it does not happen again. And also I brief the security advisor, especially on activities at the border. Looking at the Sudan situation is something also very important to bring to his attention, knowing that Ruweng administrative area covers the vast border with the Sudan. So these were also critical issues that I need also bring to his attention. We are also trying to organize around agricultural production, and also looking at the challenges with our security forces in terms of availability for food. We are also designating some of the Fadan to do the army. We have agricultural production in Abyei, where we are making sure that this is all production by the army. We have also designated that, deploying at least 1 tractor to make food for the army. And also in the areas of Pariang, where we are providing over additional 2,000 Fadan, that we are trying to see how organized forces are organized around that, so that we want to see by the end of the year, at least we have some food in the stores for our army. This will help also sustaining our forces in their barracks. These are some of the strategies that we are working on, which I have also briefed the security advisor on some of these strategies that we are making as a government.
Government has reassured its steadfast dedication to fully implementing the 2018 peace agreement. This follows a meeting of the high-level standing committee for implementation of the 2018 peace agreement for the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, with a delegation led by IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Abyei. During the meeting, Abyei reassured regional blocs support to South Sudan's government in the peace implementation and urged the signatories to the 2018 peace agreement to work jointly to overcome the current political challenges and ensure elections are conducted as scheduled.
The ad hoc committee, which follows the implementation of the revitalized agreement, me and my team, we got a briefing from His Excellencies, the leaders of this committee, very comprehensive briefing. So we have seen the implementation, the actual implementation, and the challenges that this implementation is facing. As a regional organization, we are here to support the aspiration of the people of South Sudan. We are here to support the implementation by the government of Republic of South Sudan, the implementation of the revitalized agreement. We have also agreed that to work very closely on the areas that we need our common understanding, on the areas that we can work together, and the government and this committee also has assured us that the implementation process will continue. That is a very important thing, and also the challenges that this implementation is facing, we agreed to work together.
We have committed ourselves to engage with the IGAD and all the regional bodies, international bodies, to make sure that in the 18 months to come, we can take our country for election and hopefully have stability so that the people of South Sudan can rest from transitional governments and multi-party power-sharing governments in a way that causes confusion and indeed compromises the stability of the country. We are very grateful, and we commit over and over to make sure that we engage with IGAD and achieve the end goal.
We now go for break, and when we come back, we shall look at a meeting between the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and officials from the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, UNFAO, focusing on eradicating poverty and hunger in the country. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Turning to domestic developments now, Foreign Affairs Minister and the UN Food and Agricultural Organization officials have discussed efforts to boosting agriculture and combating hunger in the country as rainy season continues. Abraham Felek has the details.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mande Simaya Kumba, met with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization Country Director, Misak Malo, in Juba on Thursday. During the meeting, Minister Kumba briefed the FAO delegation on his recent trip to the People's Republic of China. He highlighted that discussion during his visit focused significantly on enhancing agricultural productivity within South Sudan. In response, Director Malo reaffirmed FAO commitment to collaborating closely with the government. He emphasized the organization's ongoing efforts in solar power technology and mechanized agriculture.
We're going to work together on follow-up on a number of areas that include areas of support, particularly in their solar power technology and also in the areas of mechanized agriculture. These are very important areas to push this country towards increasing its food security. So we are really looking forward to continuing with this discussion, particularly energy, as we all know, is a problem even when it comes to agriculture. And so this availability and the support of the Chinese government when it comes to solar pumps, pumps that use solar, would really be a big boost to agricultural production.
In a related development, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Akobo Malwal convened a high-level monthly meeting with UNMISS leadership in Juba. The session was led on the UN side by the Deputy Special Representative of the UN Secretary General, Guang Kong. The talk centered on resolving challenges impacting the working relationship between the government and the UN mission. During the meeting, Deputy Minister Malwal emphasized the government's ongoing commitment. He stated South Sudan remains dedicated to providing a conducive environment for humanitarian agencies operating across the country.
The meeting was well attended, and we have actually made a few decisions for us to trying to resolve the issues that concern the operation of UNAMIS and the humanitarian issues.
Guang Kong emphasized the critical need to strengthen ties, specifically highlighting enhanced cooperation in the area of humanitarian assistance.
We covered a number of these operational issues that of concern to both sides, and I want to thank the governments and all the participants for the demonstration of the good spirits of cooperation and coordination, and we are able to set up technical committees to address all these concerning issues.
The meeting aimed at sharing commitment to overcome operational hurdles and improve our collaboration and humanitarian efforts. Abraham Felix, SSBC, Juba.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Dr. Wek Mamir Kuala, and UNMISS representative have engaged in vital discussions aimed at strengthening the continued collaboration with embassies on enhancing the rule of law as the country gears as the country prepares for elections in 2026. In a statement, Minister Mamer says the meeting emphasized the rule of law, infrastructure development and capacity building program for the legal council to equip them with the necessary knowledge and skills to effectively perform their duties. The Deputy Special Representative for the Political Affairs, Guang Kong, says the meeting focused on deepening collaboration in the areas that include technical support as the country heads to its general elections at the end of the transitional period. Key areas discussed during the meeting also include civic education and capacity building, among others. Both leaders emphasized the importance of coordination, transparency, and a shared strategic vision to uphold the rule of law and support democratic processes.
Today we had a fruitful meeting with the leadership of UNAMIS in my office, and we talk about issues related to rule of law and infrastructure. We have this meeting, they agreed that they will be helping the ministry in terms of infrastructure and also supporting the aspect of rule of law by providing the training to our personnel in the Ministry of Justice.
I congratulated for his appointments as the new minister. We reviewed our ongoing collaborations and cooperation between the Army's different departments with the Ministry of Justice, especially in the areas of our assistance and support to the ministry on the rule of law and access to justice, human rights issues, and also constitution making process. And I assured the Honorable Minister our full support for his efforts to promote rule of law and accept.
The leadership of the Ministry of Information, Communication Technology and Postal Services has begun the conversation on radio and television licensing. A significant step aims at addressing its operation cost. This comes on Tuesday in a crucial meeting where the National Communication Authority's Board of Directors, Professor John Akeich, presented a concept note to the 12th leadership meeting on addressing salaries and operation cost of the Ministry of Information, Telecommunication and Postal Services and its parastatals. Speaking after the meeting, the Managing Director of SSBC, James Magok Chilimchok, says the licensing and taxes, once completed, will help in addressing challenges facing the ministry and its parastatals. According to Chilim, institutions like NCA, Media Authority, SSBC and Access to Information are unable to function well because it could not address its operation cost.
With the proposal of concept note, the information sector would like to look at the areas of getting more funding as supposed to be leveraged out of other taxes. So those taxes are not yet incorporated into current taxes, and they are called communication taxes. That including the TV licenses, the radio licenses, the other communication taxes that are supposed to be part of the taxes to finance the technical part of this sector. The other sectors are having challenges, like the NCA having challenges, Media Authority having challenges, cannot be able to do their work, SSBC have their own challenges. So these challenges are brought together to the leadership level to be looked at. And those are the ones that we are looking at through presentation of each and every.
Now, in a significant development, marking of the secondary certificate examinations is progressing well. The chairperson of the National Examination Council, Kuyok Abul Kuyok, who is also the National Minister of General Education and Instruction, confirmed this following his visit to the center where marking of the exams is taking place. In a statement to SSBC, Minister Kuyok reaffirms that the result would be announced soon. The Secretary General of the National Examination Council, Simon Nyogding, accompanied the minister to the centers.
I came to visit the marking center for Senior 4 examination. I moved around all the rooms. What I got from my interaction with the markers is that work is going on well, it's progressing well, and they are all, they hope that we'll finish on time. That is in the next 3 weeks. So I have I told the markers that we are raising with time because the results are required for by the parents and especially the candidates. But I want to assure everyone, especially the candidates, that the results will be out on time within 3 weeks.
Still to come here on the news hour, SPLM Red Army and SPLM Women League's eye-level delegation led by Abuk Jarpas paid a courtesy call on the newly appointed SPLM Secretary General Professor Paul Logale Jumi at his residence in Juba on Tuesday. We will have that story right here after a short break. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. SPLM Red Army and SPLM Women League's eye-level delegation led by Abuk Jarpas paid a courtesy call on the newly appointed SPLM Secretary General Professor Paul Logale Jumi at his residence in Juba on Thursday. The team congratulated Professor Paul Jumi for winning the trust of the President and briefed him on the activities, achievements and future plans of the SPLM Red Army and Women Leagues. Speaking on behalf of the Red Army, Peter Quart expressed gratitude to the President and SPLM Chairman Salva Kiir Mayardit for appointing Professor Jumi at the critical time, assuring their willingness to supporting the party's leadership. SPLM Women League Information Secretary Agum Rin expressed their strong support to the SPLM Secretary General to achieving the party's vision and mission.
Very important assignment given to our newly SG. We as a women of Women League of South Sudan party came here. All of us, we came here led by our able chair lady, Comrade Abu Jarvis, and we also here to assure our support to our newly SG by saying women are behind you, and you with our Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, you will reach your destination. You are not going to fail our nation because the women are behind you.
So we are here to appreciate what His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit has done to bring in Professor Paul at this critical moment when the country is at economic turmoil. Professor is an economist, and we need to lead through within the party. If we organize the party economically to be strong, and then put in energetic group to be the one helping His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit to execute the principles and the ideas of the SPLM party, then this country will come back to its feet and will.
Now, over 300 SPLM-IO members have officially declared their loyalty to the ruling Sudan People's Liberation Movement in Unity State. The group declared their defection during the swearing-in ceremony of the SPLM Women Parliamentary Caucus in the capital, Bantu. Speaking at the gathering, Governor Riek Bimtop, who also serves as the SPLM chairperson in Unity State, welcomed the new members, commending their decision to rejoining the party. The SPLM party has a symbol of unity, describing their action as a clear sign of trust in the SPLM's vision for a united and peaceful South Sudan. Our correspondent in Bantu, Itala Gaga Michael, has the details.
In a significant political development, more than 300 members of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition, SPLM-IO, officially defected and joined the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, SPLM, during a joint event held on Thursday at the SPLM Secretariat in Bantu. The event also featured the swearing-in ceremony of the state SPLM Women Parliamentary Caucus in the presence of the SPLM chairman and the governor of the Unity State, Rick Bimtab. Speaking at the gathering, Governor Rick Bimtab, who also served as the SPLM chairman in the Unity State, welcomed the new members, commending their decision to rejoin the SPLM. He urged them to be samples of light and unity, saying their decision is a clear sign of trust in the SPLM's vision for a united and peaceful South Sudan.
الناس اللي انضم الليلة ده ما أول مرة إنه نحتفل بانضمام بتعدد الجهة من الأحزاب الأخرى including IO. ده ما أول مرة. أنت لو بتذكر اليوم الليلة ده يوم رابع لانضمام بتاع أعضاء الجدد الجهة لحركة شعبية. انتوا وريتوا للناس وريتوا للجنوب انه الرئيس سلفا كير رئيس حركة شعبية والرئيس جنوب السودان هو في وكد العاذر ما عنده بديل إلا هو.
Saman Chorier, the SPLM State Secretary, praised the effort of the state chairman in expanding the party base at the grassroots level. He acknowledged the continuous growth of the SPLM as reflection of its firm foundation and leadership in the state.
Very happy for the leadership of the governor of Unity State, that's the real Bimto.
The ceremony was attended by senior SPLM leadership, party supporters, and members of the public, making a day of both political joining and celebration in Unity State. Hitler Gaga Michael, SSBC, Unity State.
Abyei Legislative Assembly reopens with a call for peaceful coexistence among the inhabitants. In his opening remarks, Chief Administrator Charles Abyei urged lawmakers to work collectively for peace and unity, reassuring government commitment to continue engaging with the national government on the final status of Abyei and recognition of its referendum results. The Speaker of the area's Legislative Assembly, Dr. Yagdeng Ater, describes the speech of the Chief Administrator as comprehensive, which has covered concerned issues, adding that it will be tabled for deliberation and approval. For our part, the chairperson of Abyei Civil Society, Rose Mointoch, reiterated the commitment to working closely with the government to boosting provision of basic services in the area.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members of the Abyei Assembly, in view of apparent fragility of our circumstances, our security policy in 2005-2006 will include the following. Maintain current level of security as minimum for stability. Comply with national policy regarding recruitment and training of security personnel. Our administration will continue to highlight two attributes of this right. First, we will continue to urge our national leaders not to forget Abyei communal referendum 2003, which remains the only viable solution and should be recognized by the presidency and the government of South Sudan. Locally in Abyei, we will continue to mark its anniversary of our communal referendum. This way, we will keep the fervent alive in hearts of Abyei citizens.
We have been off for almost 5 years without meaningful interaction between the two wings of the government. And this policy we are going to table it for reading, and we will respond accordingly as it is clear in the business of conduct, and we are going to do it in the coming 2 days.
In a significant step towards strengthening peace and reconciliation in Akobo County, the newly appointed County Commissioner Kwith Makwach, accompanied by Jonglei State members of Parliament, visited Akobo West Payam to drum up support for peace in the area. Addressing the community on Thursday, Legislator Bolwol assures their commitment to promoting peace and stability among the communities. Akobo County Commissioner Kwith Makwach emphasizes that the purpose of the visit was part of the broader peace and reconciliation efforts aimed at uniting the people of Akobo County and the greater Longware community. The Executive Director of Akobo West, Payam Peter Daki, stresses that the visit would promote dialogue and foster development through peaceful coexistence.
Today we came to Akobo West, part of the peace reconciliation and peace message to all Akobo community who are part of the state, and we've been warmly received by all the communities. This community comprised of chief, students of all the private schools. And our main message is to come pass the peace.
Now, a joint team led by Dr. Labanya Margaret, Director of Corporate Affairs from the National Communication Authority, and Banat Initiative for Leadership and Digital Development, delivered food and non-food supplies to Mangala IDP's camp. The mission is part of the Girls in the ICT Initiative contribution to supporting vulnerable women and girls in the IDP's camp. Dengacho reports from Mangala.
The National Communication Authority team, headed by Dr. Labanya Migrant Matthew, Director of Corporate Affairs, and Banat Initiative for Leadership and Digital Development, pays a visit to Mangala IDP camps to deliver some food and non-food items as part of the Girls in ICT, supported by the National Communication Authority, to vulnerable women and girls in IDP camps. According to her, she says the National Communication Authority is standing firm with the IDPs in reaching out to internally displaced persons, educate them in this era of digital socio-economic development and digital literacy.
The reason we are here is, in March, the world celebrates girls in ICT. And during those months, we always reach out to communities because of inclusivity. And this time, our team had reached out and done an assessment in Mangala. We came to the most vulnerable of the group, and also for them to be able to appreciate digital transformation.
Lakir John Mayan, the women representative in Mangala IDP camps, appreciated the pledges offered to them by the National Communication Authority, particularly the women groups in NCA.
أنا بشكر الحكومة بتاع جنوب السودان. شكرا للمدير بتاعنا الجديد في ICT يوم الليلة، وأنا بشكر أمهات بتاعنا جانا في منغلا هنا ده. أنا بشكرهم للزيارة بتاعهم في حول بتاع منغلا. وأنا
so much more.
National Communication Authority is not just a regulator but also accelerate actions to strengthen a brilliance of women in South Sudan, push beyond boundaries, to challenge the status quo and to forge a future where every woman's potential is fully realized. Denga Choldol, SSBC News in Mangala.
Thank you, Denga Chol, for that report. And with that, we have come to the end of our news. From me, Abraham McKenna, and the whole team here, we thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.
election. I social model. Abu Sam, producer. I like to see the bottle when I want to do it. Oh, baby, Bunga shall allow me. I like to do the bottle when I want to do it. Oh, panda, baby, Bunga shall allow me. Yelpon Jay shall take her by Madun Tayin, there by Madun Maya, there by Madun Rabat, there by a child they sugar on Piero. Yelpon Jay shall take her by Madun Tayin, there by Madun Maya, there by Madun Rabat, there by a child they sugar on Piero. Mabruga Lego, Weggy Disha, Mabruga Lego, Wengar Mabruga Lego, Weggy. I like the yoga quite in when we told the ram of your adem. Salva kill my adit, get your pine in bull. William in one by like the yoga quite in when we told the ram of your adem.